This is my show, Gender Blending, and I'm gonna play some songs that I played the other night, and I'm gonna play them again. And if you'd like, I'm also answering questions about aliens and the trans experience as well. And so, I'm gonna start with this song I played the other night, like I said, but I'm just super into it right now. I need to actually try all of that again, which I hate because, like, it's extremely repetitive music. But I actually, like, want to do it again because I want to do justice to this beautiful song. But I'm waiting for a good time to do it. And I'm actually gonna go back, like, quite a ways, and I'm just gonna repeat it all just to practice it one more time. Because I figured the new paradigm for myself is to actually just practice on stream. And so I'm gonna improve myself and I'm gonna play the same stuff over and trust that it's gonna work out. Okay, I'm gonna just go back to the beginning. And I'm just gonna give myself a gimme on this one, a redo. I don't wanna practice this a minute. won't do this too much, I promise. I have to do it again. Got it. A little sketchy, but I got it. That was all right. This is supposed to sound better, but I'm messing it up. Sorry. It's hard. Trying my best. So good. Nobody's asked anything about aliens yet. I don't blame you. That was really nice, but I am here for it. And my name is Paige. This is Gender Blending, and this is my show where I play pieces of music that are generally harder than what I can play. And I also will try and play at other times songs that I know better. And sometimes I'll talk about aliens, and other times I'll be myself. Not quite. Close. That's not it either. I'm close. Sorry, this first up. Rough. That part's hard. I'll practice it more another time. I was wrong. I thought I was wrong. Sorry. I'm not playing super well right now. I'm gonna restart that part. That's what I recognize. That was the end of that one. Right there. There actually is this part right here, though. I have to do that better. It goes. I got I I gotta check my phone really quick because it's almost 11. And I thought I had my phone next to me, but I don't, which is a bummer. I think I have to actually end the stream. Gosh, I might possibly be the worst streamer ever. Give me just a second, and I'm gonna see if I need to get my phone and stop streaming. And I might have to stop streaming. I'm sorry. I know it's so abrupt. It's just so crazy. I just stream for literally every conceivable second that I can, and then I can't. And I probably just revealed I'm wearing shorts underneath this nice jacket, but that's what that's what we do here on Gender Blending. Thank you for being here. Hold on, I'll be right back. Thank you for being here. My name is Paige, and this is Gender Blending. This is the show where I will forget to have my microphone turned on while I play the music because I like to leave people wondering what it is are we listening to. No, that's just the kind of humor that we get here. I did just forget to plug in my microphone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for pointing out that my microphone was unplugged, and I'm going to take that as an opportunity to just play this whole song over again. And this is Fandanguillo. This is by Joaquin Torina. I played this on stream recently. And this is a Spanish piece. I wonder if I was muted earlier in the night when I played another piece that is pretty cool. Okay, we're gonna listen to it now. And I was doing this cool thing with the pedal just to make it a little muted here. It sounds kind of neat. Thank you for letting me know that I was muted. I need to blow my nose. Give me just 1 second, and when I come back, I will not be muted. Un momento. 1 second. Whoop, wrong button, wrong button. Just 1 second. Hello, my name is Paige, and I'm back. Thanks for being here. Been thinking a lot about life, and I have been playing more music than anything on stream. But I've been wondering, like, what is the purpose of a stream? What is the purpose of our being here? What is the purpose of anything? Because, obviously, if we had the answer to that, then, philosophy wouldn't be a subject or something. And so aliens are kind of everywhere right now, and I've been a long-term believer in the fact that like the universe is just infinite, and so I feel like if there's aliens, that they've probably known me through my whole life, and that probably they just like God don't care about us if they are real because they're so hyper like aware. And I just hope that they don't eat my brains mostly. I would like them to not eat my brains. And I do think that they're probably benevolent because they haven't eaten my brain yet. And they let me talk about them. So that's a good start. Because I mean, I don't know what there is to say exactly, but I figure people must have questions. Like, what are they? My answer, probably us time traveling. And I know that that's like a little bit of a cliche being passed around. But I really do think it's probably just time traveling. And I don't know how it works. I mean, if I knew how it worked, then I would probably just do it. But I mean, right here, right now is where I'd want to be. So how am I supposed to know if it works if every moment I'm in is the moment that I would want to time travel to? I mean, all I would want to do if I could time travel would be to go to a spot where I have a piano in front of me and I'm like where I want to be, and here learning music and talking to people out on the internet. Okay, let's Okay, so they didn't declassify anything yet. Nothing's been declassified. And frankly, thank you, by the way, for being here. Thanks for asking the question. My name's Paige. This is gender blending. And so they definitely didn't say anything. And if you want my honest opinion, I think that they don't know what's going on. I think that they don't know what is going on, but I do think that aliens are real. I don't know if aliens have to do with what's going on right now, but I think that aliens are probably real, but that's because the universe is infinite, not necessarily because of what we've been seeing. So those are almost two different things. And I think it's time travel. I did say that I think it's time travel. I think it's probably us from the future. And here's the thing. I know that this is tautological reasoning, what I'm about to say, but it's from my heart. And it's like a variable that fits the equation, to me at least, so it makes sense. But to me, I think that the world has been doomed. And I feel like I would be dead right now, given my life experience. If somehow time travel didn't exist, I feel like I'd already be dead. And I know that doesn't make any sense, but I've just had near-death experiences in my life. I feel like I have died. And so my personal experience just makes me a believer in basically reincarnation and also in time travel. And why not aliens? Literally. And the more important than aliens or time travel or the Gnostic experience is actually more important than any of that is actually not being tied to any one viewpoint and to rather just act in the best interest of the world at any given moment with the information that I do have. And so I was saying earlier that, like, if there are aliens, my number one, are they going to eat my brains? If they do not eat my brains, okay, we can move on to the second one. Have they eaten my brains? Do they want to eat my brains? Next thing is, do they need me? Are they not eating me because they need me alive for a nefarious purpose? Because that's troubling. Could they just tell me why they're here and not be creepy? Again, I personally believe that anything that would be like that would inherently be benevolent. Because I'm someone who I consider to be thoughtful. I'm thoughtful. I think about what I'm saying, and I'm not always right. And when I play music, I'm not always right. That sounds cool. I don't know if the next one will be cool. See, that's not good, that last one. But I'm thoughtful in the sense that I at least evaluate what I'm doing and I try to adjust course based on it. And I really do believe that any alien worth their salt. Do you think they like being called aliens? Any alien worth their salt would be interested in cultivating a relationship with me, at least. I can't speak for the rest of humanity, but I think that I'd be a cool person to go on adventures with, like Doraemon. Sometimes as a hobbyist, I read about topics like the directed panspermia, the Drake equation, and the Fermi paradox. I don't know too much about the Drake equation. But I do know about the Fermi paradox. And I actually have a cool book in the other room I could pull out about all sorts of different paradoxes. I've always been interested in paradoxes and mazes as well. Not that mazes and paradoxes are the same thing, but they're both interesting. But I saved, of the three that you said, directed panspermia is the next and last one that you'd mentioned. And I don't know what directed panspermia is, but I can imagine that panspermia means to foster life all over the universe, because pan anyways, panspermia, doesn't seem so bad. I mean, is it that bad to go around the universe and be like Johnny Appleseed, except it's your cum? Mozart, but I'm also here to answer any alien related questions or any trans experience related questions. Because the thing is, right, is that I feel like I'm getting to a place where, like, with logical reasoning, eventually, if I circle around talking about aliens enough, it'll just become self-evident what they are and where they are. I don't know, though. You think McKenna used the concept to talk about spores being able to survive in space. Panspermia with spores being able to survive high levels of radioactivity and all sorts of temperatures and different outer space flows. Spores are interesting. And I've had experiences where it's like, what would it even mean to be eternal? What would it mean to be just walking through the universe knowing that you would never stop just going forward? I mean, eventually there's nothing. Yeah, Terrence McKenna is so good. And he talks about spores, he talks about mushrooms, and mushrooms are definitely... Mushrooms play a role. Certainly. They play a role in the future. Thank you for being here, honestly. I'm still learning what this show is. I personally view all human beings like AI, and I view myself like an AI intern. And so, like, I'm wrong all the time, but I'm always trying new things, and I'm piecing puzzle pieces together. I feel like I'm on the verge of something, and my stream is meant to be a multimedia message, but I don't know the message yet. But every moment of it is kind of part of the message, and it feels like I'm talking to the aliens through it, and they talk to me through my dreams or something. Different fungal images were able to evolve to contain psilocybin through horizontal gene transfer. Lineages, different fungal lineages were able to evolve to contain psilocybin through horizontal gene transfer. Horizontal gene transfer. Yeah. I've been watching this YouTube channel called The Thought Emporium lately, and it's about genetic engineering, and that feels like thought transfer. You should check out The Thought Emporium. It's about genetic engineering, and it's so crazy. I can't even do it. I don't have the time to, like, invest in it. I'm trying to learn math and programming and Mozart. And sorry if you just heard charge complete from my headphones. Okay, instead of just playing literal nonsense from my fingertips, even though that was fun, I'm going to play Mozart for a minute from my fingertips. And this will be a different sort of fun. Is the CRISPR related gene editing? Yes, it's well, yeah. I mean, it's genetic engineering, so it's like the applications are limitless. So it's creating things at the very level of like the molecule, the plasmid, the DNA. And right now, because I haven't learned enough, I'm forgetting what the lowest level is. It's like you're literally taking amino acids, and you use chains of amino acids, but you create the amino acids. And with the amino acids, you create DNA, and using the strings of DNA, you create codons, which creates plasmids, and then the plasmids fucking do other stuff, and then there's other terms that you remember, and then all of a sudden you're making rice that has vitamin A in it. And it's that simple. You create bioluminescent mushrooms with your plasmids. I'm not a genetic engineer yet, but one day I'd like to do that. One day I'd like to do everything. I'd like to synthesize CMT like Hamilton Morris does. But right now I'm just failing to play Mozart. And yeah, I think the aliens might know how to use CRISPR though. I'm not sure. I don't think the aliens eat brains though. Because if they did, I think they would eat my brain. But they might actually just be waiting for my brain to be ripe. No, I'm actually genuinely, I would want to hang out with them. And I don't know, if there are aliens, then it's the only thing to talk about, in my opinion. If there are aliens, it's the only thing to talk about. If there are not aliens, then we need to know that there aren't aliens so that we can know that we don't have to talk about it. Because if there are, okay, this is the chain of events that humanity needs to have happen. If there are aliens, we need to know if they're going to eat our brains. If the aliens aren't going to eat our brains, we can move on. But if there are aliens, we need to know if they'll eat our brains. If there aren't aliens, then we need to understand like why there aren't aliens, or like why there was a falsity about these aliens propagated. But we also need to just worry about global warming then. Global warming or aliens? Global warming or aliens? Brains or fires? Brains or fires? And also, I'm actually going to change. It would be easier to extract than to synthesize. It is easier to extract DMT from nature than to synthesize it. But I think genetic engineering of plants to grow in predeterminate ways is a very interesting domain, especially plants as architecture, like a fantasy futuristic cyber elf village in our own created forest. And what was it I was going to pull up? I was going to pull up something that I thought was like kind of cool. Was it alien related? I don't remember. I was talking about aliens. Yeah, I said that I didn't think that the aliens were malevolent because I feel like they'd eat me. Oh yeah, okay, so I was talking about the possibilities, and I'd like to be able to draw this out, but that would require me moving my pen display. So I'm just gonna talk. And we either need to know that there's aliens or we need to focus on the climate. Because if there are aliens, then the aliens probably have technology that can help us solve the climate crisis. Because the climate crisis is mostly that we need energy. So if there are aliens, then, and they're not going to eat our brains, then that's based. That's sick. Because then that's ultimate energy, probably infinite vegan ice cream. we probably won't have to work anymore, which is my favorite part. And probably virtual reality video games. So I'm hoping 4 aliens, no brain eating. 4 aliens, no brain eating. And you know what I was gonna say is that I'm actually gonna change the title of the stream to recreational bonfires should be illegal. That's gonna actually be what my stream title is. Answering questions about aliens. That's gonna be the name of the stream now. So, recreational bonfires should be illegal. And then answering questions about aliens and the trans experience. Because both of those things are still true. I am answering questions about both of those things, and I'm playing Mozart. So the thing about recreational bonfires is like the world is already on fire, but yet for some reason I will walk around suburbia and people will have these fucking just recreational fires. And like, don't get me wrong, like if you're doing it because you need to have a controlled burn, then burn away. But like, I'm trying to run, and already the whole world is on fire. So let's not add to it recreationally. Thank you. Please. The aliens would like a word with you because they don't want plastic in their food if they're gonna eat our brains. I don't think that they want to eat our brains though. If they're here though, and they're not eating our brains, if there are aliens and they're not eating our brains and they're not solving our climate crisis, what the fuck is wrong with the aliens then? Then we need to turn it on the aliens and we need to say, why aren't you helping us to clean our room? Mom would help us clean our room. And so that makes me think that there probably aren't aliens. In which case it's like, government, what are you doing? Because we probably could solve the climate crisis with like the means that we have now. I'm not saying that we can't do that, but if there are aliens, then we need to answer that question. And if there aren't aliens, then we need to solve the climate crisis, and everything else can be put on hold. And it's that simple. It's not even complicated. It's not even complicated. It seems complicated because aliens, but it's not that complicated when you really break it down. Are our brains going to be eaten? If not, how do we solve the climate crisis? And then how do we make sure everyone has enough weed to enjoy water and food? And then we'll be playing some Mozart. And I'm trying to help the world foster in this next level, because I think if aliens, then no work. If aliens, no work, no climate change. And so I don't want to work ever again. I work, and I would rather never work. And I think that that's a good quality to aspire for. I doubt the aliens work very hard. They probably have robots. And so I agree with Moist Critical that there is no need for humanoid robots. You don't need a human robot. Let's just make robots that like can do the dishes or something. That's a dishwasher. Okay, I'm gonna play Mozart, but I am here to answer questions about aliens or the trans experience, and to talk about fires being wrong. I'm not gonna play the rest of the one I was just playing. Okay. Are the aliens watching? And if the aliens aren't watching, then is the Pentagon watching me talk about the aliens? And if aliens are real, is the Pentagon watching? Because they should. Like, why is everyone so creepy and just like lurking? If you're lurking, you should make yourself known. And I also have a Patreon too. I don't want to have a Patreon. It doesn't do anything for me anyway. But I'd rather just never work. I need a foot pad to scroll. That's what I was looking for. This one's for the aliens. DMT would be easier to extract than synthesize. Oh, I recognize this. It's on my iPod. Yeah, these are pretty famous songs. These are the Mozart, like, piano sonatas. So these are some of the core parts of the Mozart repertoire. But you know what? Because this is a stream, and because it's the year 2024, I just want to play another Final Fantasy song. And so I think I'm gonna play I haven't played this one on stream before, so that kind of makes it exciting. But this is from the video game Final Fantasy VIII. So if you're a Final Fantasy VIII stan and you're here, this one's for you. This one's for the aliens too. Again, my name is Paige, and I'm here talking about the aliens. And I've been mostly talking about hoping how they won't eat my brain. Right now, my partner is sick in bed, and so I'm hoping that they're feeling better soon. But if the aliens come and eat our brains, then none of us are going to be feeling very good. But if there are aliens, I think that they're time travelers. And if they're time travelers, then they're us. And if they're us, then that means that I must be involved in some capacity because I'm part of us right now. Even if I don't do anything, but I set the stones for other people to do it just by even like talking about this or thinking about it. And like, so what does that mean? What does that mean if we're time travelers? I'm shaving this. Do you program time travel? That doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense. But there are aliens, you know? It's 2023. Did I say the wrong year? Oh wow. I have a lot of credibility as a human being, trust me. How much did I smoke? Well, I can't answer that question right now because the aliens have taken all of the weed in the house, unfortunately. No, actually, I'm going to be going to community college soon here to bolster my programming skills. And so no more weed unless I get paid enormous sums of money elsewhere, because all of my money is going to have to go to community college classes because it's going to cost me like about $1,000 a class, and that's more than all the money that I already have, and so I can't really spend money on weed anymore. But people have told me my whole life that I seem high, but I generate drugs in my brainstem. It's a yogic technique that I discovered through communing with Krishna in dream states. And so I'm constantly tripping on LSD, but I haven't taken LSD unless it counts being generated in your brainstem. But I have a video on YouTube that says intercalating psychedelics into your DNA, and that's a Terrence McKenna video I'm responding to while I play Chocobo Hot and Cold, and that talks about intercalating psychedelics into your DNA, and that the aliens might be interested in that video. Okay. I don't know this song, by the way. If you know what it is, it's from Final Fantasy. I'm just reading it. Close. This one needs some practice, a little bit. It still sounds good though. It still sounds pretty good. There's moments where it's awesome. And then you can either repeat or you can play something else. That was Waltz of the Moon. That's from Final Fantasy VIII. It's a very cute song. In my opinion. That's my personal opinion. Personally. It felt good to play, that's for sure. Oh, and you can always request songs too if there's just any songs you want to hear. I'm gonna look at this Chopin piece really quickly. I've never played this one. And Chopin's like very difficult music. This is super hard. Why not give it just a quick little shot? You know? Why not just give it a quick shot? Thanks if you're here. My name's Paige and this is Gender Blending, and this is a show where I talk about aliens. This is my favorite show. When I'm not making the show, I wish I had time to watch it. I wish I had time to reflect on the things I did and said on the show. But I don't. I don't have time to look back because there's aliens afoot. And if there's no aliens, which is equally possible, I'm not an alien believer. I don't believe in aliens until I've seen them. There's a famous story about St. Thomas the Doubter. And St. Thomas did not believe that Jesus had been resurrected until he stuck his hand into Jesus's wound after Jesus has been resurrected. And so I don't believe in aliens, just like St. Thomas didn't believe till he touched the wound. Let the aliens show me their wound. Let me stick my hand in their wound and I'll believe in the aliens. But until they're eating my brains, I will doubt. Just like St. Thomas and just like Terence McKenna and just like Socrates and Confucius. Okay. Sorry about the charge complete. You might have a trans-related question, I might have a trans-related answer, but don't be upset if it's an alien-related answer. When trans people put T for T on their dating profile, does that mean that they only want to date other trans people? It doesn't mean that they exclusively necessarily date trans people, but it means that they're a trans person who is open to dating trans people, certainly. And if they have that listed on their profile, if they have that listed on your profile and you're unsure, there's nothing wrong with being like, oh, is that exclusively T for T? I don't think that there's anything wrong with answering that. And if they have a problem with you asking to clarify, then is that someone you want to date? I don't know. Probably. I can't speak for you. This is Chopin's second prelude. And this is like above my pay grade musically. You're only supposed to play this if you know how to play piano. And I barely. But this is like playing against Dark Souls bosses. You just like do it. That's what I've been thinking. People play Dark Souls on stream and they're not necessarily good. So this is me trying to learn Chopin on stream. That's cool. That's cool. It's wrong though, unfortunately. Oh no, it's right. Wait. That's not right. That's the right note. Yeah, you can still ask someone that has that on their profile if they're interested. I'd recommend you ask if they're aliens or if they eat brains. As long as they don't eat brains, you can be sure they won't do that. Yeah, Chopin might be a little bit too hard for us. These are supposed to be like sweeping arpeggios. I can't play that. That's too high caliber for me. I play music mostly for fun. I play songs that I like to play, and I like to talk about aliens while I play music. Can't really talk about aliens when you play Chopin seriously, I don't think. You shouldn't play Mozart when you're talking about aliens. I've just wanted to talk about them lately, is all. Because, I mean, everybody else is talking about aliens, first of all, so you finally are allowed to. I wanted to talk about LSD more, but you're not supposed to talk about psychedelics. I'm not sure whether the aliens do psychedelics or not. If the aliens do psychedelics, then I don't understand why we're not doing it together. And maybe they're only becoming aware of us because of psychedelics, and they're like, what the fuck is going on? Who are these people? I was just in my mom's basement of the spaceship. I wish I was in your mom's basement spaceship. Because then I probably wouldn't have to work because you'd be eating my brain. Just saying the word aliens is gonna make me laugh now. I won't be laughing when they're eating my brain. That's why I have to laugh now. But if there's no aliens, then I'm gonna be catching fire soon. Probably. And it's so fucked up. But if there's no aliens, we have to find out. Can we please find out so that we can move on from this? I think that there's aliens. It sounds crazy. And where are they? I think that there are them. I'm alive. Me being alive is as weird as there being aliens. At least. I'm probably weirder than fucking aliens. I'm probably literally... The aliens are probably like... Who is this? I think that the aliens have talked to me and they just erased my memory. I mean, I appreciate it, to be honest. I don't think I could function if I was being eaten. 1 second. Thanks for that break. I was just communicating with the person who's here. I think that if there's aliens, that they like Mozart. That's not the end of the song, but it kind of sounds like it, right? Thank you for being here. My name is Paige, and this is Gender Blending. And this is the show where the aliens will either eat your brain or the government is making time travel. I'd probably watch my show if I wasn't me. But that's just me. What else is there to watch, even? There's probably a joke. About the writing. I'm probably scabbing. Is this what scabbing is? Is this why the aliens won't eat me? I'm not really writing anything, so I guess it doesn't count. Also, well, I don't know. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for being here. song next that everybody knows. And it might actually get my stream like muted, but I just want to. Because nobody really knows Mozart very well. Although you recognized my song earlier, which is impressive in itself. Have I tried DMT? No. I've been offered DMT on one occasion in my life, and I said no. I said no. And the reason I said no is because I just didn't feel mentally ready. And I kind of stand by it. I think I was in a place where I might have gone insane if I had tried DMT. So I haven't tried it. But I've had my eyes opened by other Eleusinian mysteries. And maybe one day I'll try DMT if the aliens offer it to me. If the aliens offer it to me, if Terrence McKenna offers it to me, or if Jesus Christ offers it to me, I would do it. If you offered it to me, I would probably do it. You would have to tell me who you were, though. You'd have to say, hey, this is Rise of Matic Resistance. Do you remember me from your stream? Here's some DMT if you'd like. And then I'd say, will you do it with me? Are you an alien? I'd say, are there aliens here that want to do it with us? Because, like, I'd only want to do it if you did it with me, probably. I don't know if you can play piano on DMT. I don't think you can. I actually know that you can't. Because I'd probably just pass out. I've got little interest in doing it, but I mean, if it came my way, I probably wouldn't be able to not do it if it was like guaranteed to be safe and clean. But yeah, no, I've never done it. I was offered it that one time, and then I didn't do it. And I stand by it. I don't really feel like I missed out or anything. I still think I'm a far out thinker in person, personally. I think I've done enough. I've done enough other things. I've seen it all. I feel like, I don't know. Well, no, I've not seen it all. I'm far from seen it all. I've not seen it all. But at the same time, I've seen everything I need to, you know? Yeah, art set and setting is important. Certainly. Yeah, the set was not good. It was like a dingy house. Really not ideal. Give me just one moment. Checking one thing. And checking this. Oh, I didn't even realize I was making noises on stream. Text from people I like. They'll make you make noises, I guess. Okay, this is my last of these songs right here to play right now, but I'm gonna keep talking. This is a variation on one I played earlier. Oh, wrong notes. It's B flat, I'm sorry. haven't stayed up this long in a long time. Yo, Ratchakuka! What is going on? I am playing some music tonight. I'm talking about aliens. But I'm not really saying much about them because, truthfully, I know as much about aliens as apparently the US government, which is really problematic. And I've been talking about how problematic that is because either aliens exist or they don't. I think that they exist. If aliens exist, hopefully they don't want to eat our brains. That's actually number one. I almost feel like it is worth it to like move my whole camera over and get my like drawing implements out so I can just draw what I'm thinking to all of you. Maybe it's worth it. I don't know. I would have to open up GIMP and just like lay out on the screen everything about the aliens. I think that might be one way to do it. But at the same time, it's just so much work. I could probably even do it with like my mouse pointer. I wouldn't even really have to move. I also don't exactly want to reveal the fact that I'm wearing running shorts right now. I have like a nice jacket on top. And I don't want to disturb the image that I'm dressed nicely. Thanks for being here, Ratchakuka. It's always good to see you. Okay, so you can't actually see what's on my screen right now, but you'll be able to see it soon enough. That looks pretty good. How well can I draw with like this right now? With my mouse, it's actually a little bit rough. We'll see what it looks like. Let's do this. Let's go to Gabe Screen Main. And now that's what you're seeing. And I can see chat. So that's important. I'm not using my actual stylus to draw this. It's always amazing to be here. Thank you so much, Ratchakuka. So here, we're gonna title this slide Aliens. Oh, this isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna work without my tablet, because I'm right now using my mouse to draw this when I have a drawing tablet, but it's just that it's all the way over there, and I have to like maneuver myself to write about the aliens. Unfortunately, I probably will have to, and that means we have to do this as well. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a couple things. We're gonna put this back onto only webcam. Then I'm gonna move GIMP over here. You can actually see me moving it over there. Can you see that on the back screen? That right there that I'm spinning around in the background, that's my tablet that I have to write on. But if I go over there, you're gonna see that I'm wearing running shorts instead of nice pants or a skirt or something. Okay. I wonder if I can just like literally pull my whole drawing tablet over without showing you that I'm wearing shorts. Probably not. What happens if I just pull the whole thing up? Check this out. Do you see me doing this? I feel like I'm in like a futuristic movie or something. I am talking about aliens. Okay. So this is where we are. Oh, I can actually stay over here. Okay, hold on, aliens. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. My stylus isn't liking this right now. 1 second. Let's see why it doesn't like it. 1 second. This should be working, but it's not right now. I'm not sure why. I have one suspicion as to why it isn't working. I think I know. But I need to go to another screen on my computer in order to tell you all about the aliens. Just 1 second. We need to go to, oh, it's actually on this screen in my lap. 1 second. Don't worry. We're gonna figure it out. Okay, here we go. Pen display. Working area. That's what we're looking for. Nice. Hold on, we're gonna restore the defaults. Monitor calibration. Doing it again. Hold on. I will get this, don't worry. We are all good here. Also, this is always on a custom area. I don't know why it does that. It's sort of weird. Yeah, it's doing it again. Screen ratio. There we go. Hopefully that'll help. It doesn't appear to be detecting this pen for some reason. But the pen can't actually be like wrong. At least this is all still working. It's my pen that's not working. Cancel calibration. Digital pen. Whoa, something's going on here. Let's see. Oh, it looks like it's working again. Yep. Okay, wait. Recalculate. Restore. Hold on. Restore default. Okay, I think it's working now. I think it's working. I think it was an actual technical glitch. I don't think it was my fault. I'm not doing anything wrong, as usual. As usual, it's probably the aliens. Can you hear me still? It seems like it's working. You can hear me, right? Okay, now we're going here. Look at that. Fuck yes. Okay, and then here's what we do is we change this to wrong one. This one. Look at that. Okay. As much as we like chat, we're gonna put this over here. Okay. And then, lastly, we go over here. Look at that. Nice, nice. And for some reason, everything's orange. There we go. Okay, aliens. And so when you're writing about aliens, it's good to draw a little alien head. So you generally want to draw like alien head. They just look kind of like that. They don't have hair or ears or anything. They've got thick skulls too. Okay, so aliens, right? Here's the thing. Is that there's only two possibilities. Okay? The possibilities are the following. And then here's a couple things. Okay. There's a couple categories here. Okay. They exist. Okay. They don't exist. Okay. Here's the thing about alien. It does kind of look like that. But imagine that it's blowing out smoke. And then he's or she. This is them passing you a bong. That's like a little bong. Um, okay. Anyways, so they might exist, and if they exist, do they wanna eat my our brain? If they don't want to eat our brains, then there's not too much to worry about. That's one of the things. Okay. If they don't exist, what about climate change? So we gotta, like, if they don't exist, then we're talking about aliens. So this is why we need an answer. This is why we're gonna rewrite that. This is why we need to know. Why we need to know. Do they want to eat our brains? Because if they want to eat our brains, then we're in pretty rough waters. They want to eat our brains. We're not looking good. I'm trying to get a good color for brain. That's like not quite a brain color. Like that's brainy. Do they want to eat our brains? Because if they want to eat our brains, then we are in trouble. But if they don't want to eat our brains, then what kind of technology do they have? Okay. Why do we have to work? Why are we working? If aliens exist, what is work for? Should we be doing drugs with the aliens? Are the aliens drugs? These are just important things to think about. I don't know. And then, why don't we get an answer? Why aren't we getting an answer? This is the ambiguity part. Ambiguity. Ambiguity. This is disclosure of truth. Truth. And that this is, these are negatives of disclosure, and these are positives if they don't want to eat our brain. I think they're benevolent. But they could be malevolent. If they don't want to eat our brains, are they going to like trap us or enslave us? I don't actually know. Oh my god, Ratchikucha, thank you so much. Are they gonna basically just like put us into a simulation of some kind and like leech us for our minds? Because I'm not sure. Why aren't, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. And this is a very roundabout talk here. Why aren't we getting an answer? And that's because getting an answer. And that's because if no aliens, if no aliens, then government is less than government is less than useful, actually harmful. And if there's no aliens, then we gotta solve our social issues. Not that aliens will solve our social issues, but they'll make it pretty darn easy. No problem, Rajagurka. They would make it pretty easy to solve our social issues. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have much more to say on that slide. But I'm someone who considers myself a technostic. And technosticism, it comes from this root of Gnostic, which is basically direct experience with. And then of course there's this technology aspect to it. And I'm gonna fix that. I like when these are actually well made. And this whole like science / applied ingenuity. Technosticism with higher states, I guess. And I'm facing like literally away from the camera, so this is like so unhelpful. And I don't even know where I'm going with this, really. I don't know where I'm going with the technosticism portion of this right now. But essentially, the thing is that this is gonna help define post historical techno spiritualist ontos revolving around novelty and I have to word this next part right. It's not just novelty, it's also novelty and dharmic appreciation. I don't know. I'm making this up right now. But that's what everything is just made up. And so I'm actually going to go back to playing some music because nobody's actually asking questions about aliens, so I don't have that much to say. I was just sort of rambling about them earlier. But now I know I can kind of pull off my my slide, and I can work off of that if I want. And I'm going to be back, philosophical gender blending Joe. I'm going to be right back myself. I just need to top off my drink. And I actually shouldn't stream for too much longer. But I want to. I just want to keep going for a while here. And so I'm going to put myself on BRB for just a second. And then I'll come back and I'll talk more about aliens. Except I need my cursor. Here we go. Nice. Oops. Studio mode. Whoops, not studio mode. BRB. Studio mode. Now turn this up slightly. And then this. Actually, let's make this 10. Oh yeah, I'll be back in a moment. Have the aliens mastered the city's Patanjali? Thank you for saying that I don't have sound at this hour. Who even knows if anybody's here? But have the aliens mastered the city's Patanjali discusses? Well, I have not studied Patanjali's discussion of cities like very specifically, but I'm very familiar with cities in general and the idea that they are not really to be aspired for. However, in order to actually attain cities and to begin with, you have to abandon essentially all aspiration. And so I don't know if they're actually attempting to master cities or not. But for the most part, you have to be like vegetarian or vegan anyway. So that means that if they're mastering cities, then that means that they probably don't eat brains, obviously. Wait, no sound. It says that there's sound on my stream. Is it really not working? It means that they probably don't. I mean, it should be working. I think there should be sound coming out of my stream. Right now it says that there is. Can't hear this? You can't hear this? Blink once for yes. Tell me that there are alien. Oh, there is now. Okay. Okay. There's such a delay between the text and stuff. Anyways, I'll go back to the aliens and whether they've gotten cities or not. I don't think they have. I've experienced cities in dream states, and I think that you can only consistently do them if you're pure. You can't eat brains if you're gonna do them, probably. So have they mastered them? My guess is that they haven't. My guess is that they haven't. Because to master the cities, then you would need to aspire to master them. And so I think that anyone who has mastered them hasn't aspired to master them. So maybe they have, but they wouldn't like recognize it, maybe. But I don't know. I don't know whether they would have mastered them or not. If they've mastered the city's Patanjali discusses, then that would mean that they're probably benevolent. And if they're benevolent, then why aren't they here? Why aren't they here? Like, if they're good, then why aren't they here? If they're bad, then fuck, like, it's probably really bad. But if they're good, then what does that even mean? How do you even comprehend it? And what is good if they let suffering happen to the extent that they do? But maybe they're good, but they can't do anything about the suffering, so they don't. I consider myself good, and I'm doing nothing about the suffering in the world right now. I've talked about this with Nabil before, but I am constantly thinking about my own output into the universe karmically, and I could talk a lot about like how I feel like I'm forced to create negative karma from capitalism. But then also, like right now, I have this show, and in my opinion, for this show to be worth it, I have to offset the carbon that my show uses. I need to in the future create a world that's so much cleaner than my show's energy use right now, that I've cleaned the earth with my words on this show. And so I think about it a lot, and that's why I play music, is because I think music says more than words. I think it does a better job of communicating Gnostic experience than my words do sometimes. But yeah, it doesn't make sense. I mean, I know it's the same thing to say if there are aliens and they're benevolent and they don't help us, then what is benevolence? I know that's the same as saying if there's a God and there's evil, then how is God all powerful? I know it's the same argument, but here we're being confronted. We're being confronted with either the U.S. government is going to have to either recognize the existence or at least continue saying that they don't know. And if they don't know, that's the whole wormhole of like situations that we can kind of get into, I guess. But if they don't know, then that's scary. But also, it means that me talking about it on this show isn't going to hurt anything. And if anything, like, we should be talking about it. If they don't know, everyone should be talking about aliens unless they verifiably know that we don't know, in which case it is morally imperative that they tell us so that we can focus on global issues and not waste one more second time. My show is garbage right now because the world is burning and I'm talking about aliens. But on the off chance that there are aliens, then this is the only thing anyone should be talking about, right? And so if there are aliens, we should be talking about it. If there are aliens, we have to know whether they're going to eat our brains or not. And I don't think that they would eat our brains if they exist because they're not here eating our brains now, and they could be. Maybe they're letting our brains ripen. That's very fucking possible. It's very possible they're letting our brains ripen, and we aren't allowed to know that they're letting our brains ripen. To a certain degree, I'm comfortable with the idea that my brain is just being ripened, but like, I guess could life be like less shitty in the interim? Because like all of life is suffering. Like, is this really the best life that they can provide for their livestock if that's what I am? If I'm on a train? You're confused, to be honest. I'm confused too. That's why I'm going through this on stream, is I just want to talk about these aliens. Because right now, the way that the government is handling this is that we have representatives who are basically saying that we have all of this information that is being reported. They don't want to eat our brains, just give us an anal probe. That was held, but it should be allowed. They might want to give us an anal probe. They might want to give us all sorts of probes. But the fact of the matter is that they can only give us probes if they're real. Anyways, Archikuko, I guess to like clarify, is that right now in the real universe, not in my own imagination, but we've been talking about UAPs specifically because there's enough reports with enough veracity behind them that legislators and military experts are coming forward and saying either there is certifiably aliens and it's being hidden, or we aren't sure, or we are sure that there aren't. It's one of those three. Let me write that down. Let me go back to the screen, because I think that's crucial to all of this. Let me go back to the game screen, and let me grab this again. Okay, and I'll write down the three possibilities here. I'm just gonna go here. We're gonna create a new one. We're gonna go here. So 3, well, we're gonna redo that. 3 possibilities. And this is real. This is what's happening right now. This is the situation. I mean, I'm just summarizing it. But the 3 possibilities are that government knows. Government knows. Real. We'll put real. And then we'll put 1 bar. And then we'll put unsure. Government unsure. All 3 of these are bad. unsure. And then the other is government knows, false. No aliens. No aliens. And then in this, it's question mark. And in this, it's check. We know. We know for sure. These are the three situations. This is the one that I kind of, I kind of think we're here. That's where I like sort of think we are. But in this case, do they want to eat our brains? That's the biggest question. That's the biggest question. If the government isn't sure, then how long have they been unsure? How long have they been unsure? Why don't they tell us that they're unsure? Why don't they tell us that they're unsure? Why aren't we studying it? Aren't we studying / talking about it? Which we are studying and talking about it now. And then if the government knows it's false, climate change, injustice, why are we talking about this? Well, the answer is probably because of these, and they want to distract from it. Probably. And unfortunately, due to Occam's razor, likely it is this last one. It probably is this last one, that the government knows that they aren't real. Like, that's the most grounded in reality one. But if that's the case, then I kind of think, I don't actually think that they're after our brains. I just think it's funny to say it all the time. I think that they could go after any part of our body equally, or they could just lay eggs in us. They might not eat our meat. They might lay eggs in us. They might feast off of our suffering. They might be using us for our electricity, our just like energy. They might have us just like in vats, right? We might be in vats. So this is a human being in a vat. And then this is the hole that you see the human being in. And then like they just suck our energy. And they keep us like alive in like a fluid that has vitamins in it, but they're just sucking our energy. So they might not be eating our brains, but when I say eat our brains, what I'm saying shorthand is that they're just using us, they're harvesting us, is like the government knows that they're real. But if they don't want to, if they don't want to, why no egalitarian society? If the government knows, then they know that they're malevolent or benevolent. Like, the government knows one way or the other. I'm too tired to actually handle the existence of aliens. But they either exist or they don't. Did they put us in a simulation? Well, I've said earlier that I think that we are the aliens, because I think that the government doesn't know, but I think they wish they knew. And I think that we are the aliens that put ourselves into a time simulation in order to figure out time travel. and that we're leading up to the singularity. So like this is kind of, I guess I'll try and draw what I think is happening, because like, and I hate that I have to face away, but I don't know a better camera setup. It's a long story. But anyways, here's how I think it is. So this is like, okay, here's a neural interface. This is like a really quick one. This is a neural interface. Neural interface. The way a neural interface works, and I'm going to do this really, really fast. And I've talked about this before on the show. But the way a neural interface works is that it kind of looks like this. And then each of these connects to each of those, right? This is a neural interface. It's not the best drawn neural interface, but it's a neural interface, and then each of these goes to that. And that's what you're looking for. Okay, so this, consider the neural interface abstracted outward to be all of our history. But our history is the number one timeline. And our universe is all histories. And so this is all histories. It's kind of like an array. It's an array in programming of all histories. Then this is a black box. This is a black box, which is like basically AI learning, machine learning. And then this right here is the solution. And then from the solution, I believe that the universe expands outward in a singularity. And you could view this as a two-dimensional space. You could view it as 2 dimensions. Or you could view it as even potentially 3 dimensions. Or 4 or infinite dimensions. It could be infinite. But essentially, all of history is contained here. All of history is here. And then this is the singularity. And then we are here. We are here. Wait, hold on. I'm going to rewrite that with a different color. And I'll make this a little bit smaller. Basically, I think that we're like here. Imagine all of this as a timeline. Imagine this as time is like weird. This is a weird timeline. This is the beginning of the universe, right there. This is the end of the universe, but then it cycles back to the beginning over and over, eternally. Just goes back. But we are here. We are here. And time definitely speeds up as we move forward. That's for sure. But basically, all of existence leads up to this point right here, because from here, you can freely navigate all realities. And that includes navigating back to essentially where we are. And so that's what I think UFOs are, is that the UFO experience, these cubes inside circles that people are reporting, I think that basically that's God's cursor. This is a cursor. And it's essentially just a floating point of information of just a post-historical person just witnessing the universe. That's really all it is. Yeah. So it has something to do with all of that. It's got something to do with all of that. I'm not sure what. But, you know. Yeah. Any questions? I'm here to answer. I gotta go to bed soon though. But it's been good. It's been good talking about aliens. I wish I had more time to talk about them. I'm pretty tired too. I'm tired of recreational bonfires. Like, our world is literally on fire already, and you're just gonna add fire to it? What is that? What is that? Am I being unreasonable by saying that it's dumb to have recreational fires? Because I don't think I am. I think it's stupid. And I don't think aliens would do it. I actually really do have to go to bed soon, but thank you so much for hanging out, Rhizomatic Ratchakuka. Thank you for that subscription earlier. I really appreciate y'all being here. Is a neural interface a brain-computer interface? Well, so a neural interface is let me go back here. You pulled me back in. I'm not gonna give up on the night so soon. So I was talking earlier about this right here, and what I actually meant, neural interface is actually maybe not a great word for it. Let me reword it. This is a neural network. This is not an interface. That's not doing any interfacing. I'm sorry. I hope you're not hearing that charge complete. That's so bad. That's my headphones. It's honestly annoying. Look at this camera angle is annoying. What am I doing? What is this? We're bringing this back down. Okay, neural network. But let me talk about brain-computer interfaces. Let me talk about brain-computer interfaces for a minute. That wasn't good. Brain-computer interfaces. So brain-computer interfaces are really just a chip. Wow, that's not a good head. Let's try it again. That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good head. So like, this is a human head here. And so like, there's like a little chip in here. But what's really happening inside of a brain, let me draw a brain. This was our brain color earlier. So this is our brain. And like, it's not the like most well-drawn brain. There's like a part down here, like a part here, then it kind of goes like down there. And so like inside of the brain, there's sort of like I love drawing so much. Inside of the brain, we got our brain stem. And so this is fight or flight. And this is actually, this was sort of the beginning of the brain. And this is the center of our brain. And this was the first evolved. And then what happened was that outside of that, let me do a different color. The higher functions. The higher functions. This is our our like outer brain, and this is the left, right cortex, and also the cerebellum. Go to the internet here, and I'll pull up some brain stuff. Hold on. Brain. Let me just type in brain diagram. Brains are really interesting things. And let's look for a good one. This one looks pretty good. So, see, the cerebellum is on the bottom of the brain, and then you have the left and right. Where is this shown, the left and right? Frontal lobe, parietal lobe, cerebral cortex. Try to find one that labels it in a way that I was. Well, this is the left and right hemisphere. But yeah, at the very center, you have the hippocampus, the medulla oblongata, the brain stem, the amygdala. And that stuff controls your fight or flight right in the middle of the brain. The basal ganglia is like basically the only part of the brain that, like, if that gets fucked up, then you're guaranteed to die. And those things are the things that are in the center of the brain. Now, this controls fight or flight, but this controls our emotions. Second evolved. Emotions, language, memory. And also, this one right here, our first one, this is motor skills. Motor skills, the very fundamental stuff. Breathing. The basal ganglia controls breathing, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. That's one of the reasons why, if that ends, you die, because you stop breathing. Okay, and then we'll do the third color. And so here's the brain-computer interface. I think that the brain-computer interface I think it's a third layer. I think it's a third layer of the brain. So we kind of got, like, in the middle of our brain, we have our brainstem. And that's going down into the body. And it's like right at the center of our brain. And then outside the brainstem, we have our cerebellum. And then then we have brain-computer interfaces. And this is where it becomes like a Theseus's ship type of thing. Because the brain interface here, like, it's going to be like a desktop computer. I mean, when you look at a brain-computer interface, it's like really a BCI is like really quite simple. It's like you basically have the processor, and then you have that, like, on top of here with, like, basically to my mind, you have memory. And then you have, like, normally, like, and then this is like power. And like you just have the wires going in. But even this is like, I mean, even this is like very, I think that when they actually have it working, it's going to be less crude than this. But this is a third layer of the brain. And just like with a computer, if you've ever built a computer before, in a computer, you have a motherboard, you have a MOBO, and then this has a processor in it. And this needs to be cooled by a fan. And the whole thing needs to be powered by a battery. Or, in the case of most computers, it's an outlet. And for us, it'll be our actual body. Our body should generate the power, I think. But I don't know how. I don't know how, really. But anyways, then you got RAM. So you got RAM. We'll draw 4 6 of RAM. And you do need that. And then there's storage, but you don't really need storage. But all of this is like inside of just the chip. And just like with the computer nowadays, how people like have their own custom one, eventually we're going to have our own custom brain computer interfaces. And so this is going to be our cultural knowledge. And then our database access. And then it's going to be like our it's going to be our life interface in a lot of ways. It's just going to be a life interface. Because it's kind of a brain extension. It's like a brain extension. It's not a mod. It's not like we're changing the brain. It's just a plug-in. It's just a plug-in. And so at first it's just a chip, but then eventually it'll cover the whole brain. And then eventually it will just be the computer. Not really though. Eventually we're just going to try and get rid of the need for a computer. And ideally in the very, very end, all that we'll have left are mushrooms. Whoops, that's a bad mushroom. This will be a better mushroom, I think. You know, I mean, that's really all you need in the end. It's just some mushrooms. Does fill even work? Yeah, here's fill. Background color, red, please. Thank you. And maybe one of these colors. Reverse it. Draw some white spots on there. And then you got yourself a mushroom. Truthfully. Just being honest. And so any questions about the aliens? Mario vibes. Wouldn't one day write to the brain and not just read it? Well, maybe one day we'll actually transcend the need for brains. No, let me go back to the. I think that Whoa, that's harsh. Let's make a new one. Right, we're gonna get rid of this one. Okay. When it comes to the brain, I think that we are headed for an anti-work, post-work society. But there's a yuga system, the yugas. So let's just type in yuga. Let's go here. Yugas. Let's take a look. So there's the Sat, Treta, Dwapara, Kali. And we're supposed to be in the Kali Yuga, right? You can see it basically all over here. Kali Yuga, Sat Yuga, Dwapara. I can't really say it well. I'm sleepy too. I hope you have a good night. I'm gonna go to bed before 2, certainly, but you have the yugas, and so you have the Sat, Dvaita, Dvapara, and then and I might honestly be spelling these wrong, but we're in Kali, and we're headed back to the Sat over here, and there's also a thing known as Seva in Sanskrit, which means service. It's kind of interesting that Seva means, or it's similar to save. It's the anagram for save. And so for BCIs, saving, I think that you'll basically have the, in this example, when we just have all of cultural knowledge, and you'll be able to just like actually be in a virtual environment, because it's going to turn off in the same way it's saying it'll write to your brain. It will be able to send signals to your brain that will turn off your eyes, your perception, and it'll input its own signal, and you'll be able to experience virtual reality just via your actual brain input. And so in that actual way, everything is just going to be simulated. And so you don't need any material goods anymore. You're past all of that. And so since you don't need that, basically money becomes useless and everything becomes useless. And I think this is scary for a lot of people, but what ends up happening, and this is dystopian, don't get me wrong, it's dystopian, but I'm pretty sure this is just the truth and people just deserve to know. And this is what I'm going to end on, is that I'm pretty sure that in the future, if you don't save your day, because days are novel. Every day is novel. And if you don't save it, it is gone forever. Otherwise, it's added. And basically, this concept is just rebirth. We die every day, and then if we don't die, then we add our consciousness to the cultural knowledge database. And that's what existence is and always has been. The far right took the nomenclature of the Kali Yuga and used it for their own purposes. I think I know what you're talking about. I think you might be talking about surfing on the Kali Yuga. I don't know if that's what you're referring to. And that is definitely an appropriation of the Kali Yuga, which I'm appropriating the Kali Yuga too, but not for far right purposes. And surfing on the Kali Yuga is a fucked idea. I think that the Kali Yuga is a real thing, but the thing is that the 10,000 years of the Kali Yuga, that happens like this. Like 10,000 years is like nothing when information transfer is what dictates time. I think that the reason that days go by so quickly now is that we're literally experiencing an acceleration of time, honestly. And so, with that acceleration of time, we will go through all of those experiences, but it's going to be so fast. We're just going to be into the Sat Yuga, and the Sat Yuga happens exponentially longer. Yeah, this is fucked. That, not good. I don't endorse that at all. That is really not good. But I don't have time to get into that because I'm feeling really tired too. But suffice it to say that, like Julius Evola, Savitri Devi, I'm unfamiliar with those names, but I'm going to look into it. And I'm also going to end my stream now because I'm feeling so sleepy too. But I hope you have a good evening. I need to go like shower, get ready. But thanks for being here. Please check out the YouTube if you would like more content. I do want to put out more videos, and I'm gonna stream as much as I can until either our world ends from climate change, we get eaten by aliens, or I lose my job and become completely homeless and just like can't make videos anymore, or whatever happens and I just can't make videos if I'm too busy, if I just am too tired. I love being here. I love streaming more than anything in the universe. It's what I always want to be doing. Night. Same. And I should just end. I should just say good night and I should just end, but I don't want to because I want to stream forever. But here I go. I am going to go into that deep night, and I pray that you have a good night as well. And thank you all for being here. Bye. I should raid people more, but I'm so weak. I hope you have a good night. Bye.